the last time I was standing here in this very place in front of, I think all of you, or most of you, I was telling you about the Sangha. We were celebrating Sangha Day. And I was telling you that the Sangha is what makes possible the practice of the Dharma in order to achieve Buddhahood. And that you, sitting there, were giving meaning to my life because, in a way, we are sharing the practice, and in one way or another, we are sharing our lives. But today it's not very much about the Sangha, but today we are celebrating the protector of the Sangha. And in our case, the founder of our Sangha. And he is, of course, Bhante Sangharakshita. And he is the first individual in setting conditions for us to come together, giving us the opportunity to do with our life what I believe is the most worthy thing doing. Just, yeah, the practice of the Dharma, the practice of the teachings of the Buddha. And for the benefit of many, of course. And many are indeed the number of beings who have been beneficiated by Bhantes' life and work, as Sumedra Gosha was saying, in different ways, directly or indirectly. And of course my life is one of those. And I would say through our practice as a community, we are having a really big influence in the world, because more and more people is living ethically, more people are having less impact in the environment, less negative emotions, less stress, all that comes from negative emotions just by practicing the Dharma that Bhante has presents and has given to us. Out of compassion, I would say. But back to my life. As many of us, I'm not in a kind of personal relationship with Bhante, at least physically. In fact, I have met him just once. It was very nice. So perhaps I can tell you a bit about our meeting. I don't know. I just remember opening that door around around 4 p.m. Just opening that door, and in the other side, seeing this man just giving himself completely to me, just with his hand like that. You know, if you have seen him, you know what it's like, and that sort of feeling that he's really seeing you, he's really looking at you, just like that, with his hand, and he shaked my hand quite firmly and strongly. You could really feel like, oh my God. and then when I was there, all the time I just felt his presence there. As I said earlier, he was giving me all his attention in that very moment. And at some point I thought, wow, what should I do with all his attention? I mean, it's quite rare to have such presence in front of you. And, well, yeah, we talk about various things, and I would say four things that he told me, or three, let's see. We talk about formality and the importance of being formal, of being on time, being a sort of a gentleman, serving other people, just kind of basic formality, because he said it was like a sort of a way of awareness. So that was the thing. And I asked him, so do you think the order should be a bit more formal? And he started to laugh and said, well, maybe. The other thing was, he told me that we should find what we really want to do with our lives. And really go for it. Once we know what we want to do with our lives, really put your energies into it and just do it, just go for it. So yeah, that was like really inspiring. And we were talking, of course, about the Dharma and that I wanted to give my life to the Dharma. So it was a bit of a message. He's saying like, well, just go for it, just do it. The other thing he said, what's the other thing? Oh, be careful with relationships. Don't let them distract your spiritual life. Of course, I'm being careful. What's the other thing? Of course, keep your enthusiasm alive. Be grounded, but keep your enthusiasm alive, and don't let the conditions or other people affect that enthusiasm and energy. So I got that from that meeting, and up to now I'm still working with that really. And I went to see him last year in September, and I'm going again tomorrow, which I'm really excited. But apart from that meeting, which is having a really big effect, and I think it's going to have a really big effect throughout my life, his life and work affected my life even before, when I was in Mexico. And well, I would say the first time I got into contact with him in a way was when I took my first meditation course in Mexico. Because of course he wasn't leading it, he wasn't there, but his teaching, his approach to the Dharma was there, and was through a Dharma Charini by Chandra, so thank you very much to her, that I got to know the approach of Bhante to the spiritual life and his teaching. And from that course, I just wanted to get to know more about that mysterious teaching and that mysterious teacher, and about that unknown movement and order. Because kind of she mentioned bits and bobs, but I just wanted to get to know more about it. Just everything made sense. So yeah, as it happened with the time, I started to get to know more about Bhante and about the movement. And I think the first book I read from Bhante, and I studied kind of properly, was What is the Sangha? And that book had a really big effect on me. His clarity, his straightforwardness, his depth, mystery, everything kind of resonate within myself. And I realized that he described it perfectly what the best in myself aspired to. Those ideals that somewhere in myself I already were, but he just kind of, by describing them, just came much more alive and kind of was like a call saying, yeah, just bring out the best in yourself, and it is possible. And one of the things that is very important, or it is very important to me, is that, well, as Madragashi was saying, he is alive. Because I used to think that all of the brilliant people, the brilliant minds, were in the past. The Greek philosophers and the founders of religions, all the brilliant people, they were just in the past, they were dead. So it was kind of, I was aspiring to be like them. I wanted to develop the best of myself, but I kind of didn't know anyone around me who was doing that. So when I got about Bhante, and when I got to know that he is alive, it's like, great, so actually there's somebody with a really brilliant mind who is alive and who is practicing the Dharma and is teaching, not just by writing or talking, but actually he is exemplifying that it's possible to live a Dharma life, and that it's possible to attain wherever we want to attain, enlightenment. So that was really inspiring. was like, wow, yeah, he's alive, so actually I can do it. Because in a way, we know that the Buddha was born as we are born, and what he attained, we too can attain. But I was like, I kind of didn't understand or believe completely that until I got to know about Bhante. Because in a way, there you go, he's doing it. So, I believe more those words. Sangharakshita is a man, as I am a man, so I can do it as well. So one of the things why I'm really grateful with Bhante is that he gave direction to my life. As I said earlier, he gave us all the practices and his approach to the Dharma so we can understand and practice it. And it's just giving direction to my life. It's just giving meaning, and I can put my efforts into it. And otherwise, I don't know what I would do, really. Because I really wanted to do something with my life, something meaningful. But I didn't know how. I didn't know a path. I didn't know a set of teachings. And with what he has given me is just that, is the path. He's pointing a really clear and sort of systematic or doable path. I'm really grateful about that. And yeah, again, Sumitra Ghosh was saying, that's what you mean? that's the time.
Just kidding.
Okay, yeah, I'm nearly, yeah. So yes, as Sumitra Ghosh said, because he was receptive to the teaching of the Buddha, and out of compassion, he is giving us the teaching, and he gave us the teaching. That's why we can be here. Well, that's why I'm here, standing in front of you. And I would say, for me, Sangharakshita is a bodhisattva who have moved or turned the wheel of the Dharma, at least in my life. Without him, I wouldn't get to know about the Dharma in the way that I know now, and in a way that I can practice it. So he turned the wheel of the Dharma in my life, and I'm sure in many of our lives. So thanks, Bhante, and of course to thank Bhante is to thank the movement as a whole, because he has said that the movement is his life, or the work of his life. So yeah, thanks to Bhante, and thanks to the movement. And well, the last thing I want to say is just homage to him, the protector of the Sangha. Homage to Sangharakshita, who in my life put into motion the wheel of the Dharma, giving direction to my life. Homage to him who has benefited many beings. Respectfully, I bow to Bhante, and with admiration. All my life, I grateful would be.